Hello friends, Roger Nichols here. This is a very important video and I would greatly appreciate if you would take the time to listen to it in completion. This is an awareness video. This has nothing to do with cryptid or paranormal encounters. This has to do with everyday real life and bad situations that arise and how to possibly handle them and notice the warning signs. Again, I'm not asking anybody to like or subscribe to my channel, but please share this one because this is very important and it hit close to home, and it might hit close to home with you as well, and you don't even know it. We have a very large extended family. Obviously my wife and myself. So our Christmases start sometimes a week before and can go up to a week after. And because we were stranded down in Iowa, my sons, because of the snowstorm for an extra few days, it set it back a little bit with my wife's side. I should say it'd be my wife's side with my niece and my grandniece and them. But anyway, this past weekend, we celebrated Christmas with them. Completely different culture. As you know, my wife is black and Colombian, and things are a little different, especially the ones that are more orthodox within that culture. So we were kind of mingling in the kitchen afterwards like everybody does, and getting ready to go into, they have a theater room in their home. And my grandniece, now remember this is on my wife's side, my grandniece approached me. She's 20 years old, beautiful, bright, vibrant young lady, very smart, like I said. And she's always come to me for advice and protection and things like that. Just always relied on me. And she come to me before we actually went into the theater room, and she goes, Unky Toro. That's a long story, but she calls me Unky Toro. My niece on my wife's side called me Toro Blanco. That was kind of the nickname, and my grandniece just kind of picked up on that and just always called me Unky Toro. So go ahead and have a laugh. She approached me and she said, can I talk to you in private? I said, yeah, absolutely. So I told my wife and my niece, I said, Kylie wants to talk to me, and in private. And my wife said, well, I need to get my makeup case out of the motorhome anyway. We had our motorhome there, and staying in that while we were visiting. And she goes, just go ahead and go in there and talk to her, and just bring that back with you when you're done. So I said, all right. So we went out to the motorhome, sat down, and I said, what's up, Kaylee? And the conversation that proceeded hit me like a strobe light. It just, every emotion in the world hit me at one time. It was anger, hate, revenge, sadness, disappointment, everything, the whole gamut within a split second, and I'm going to tell you why. She told me that she was afraid for her life, basically, and this is why. And this is very important. This probably hasn't been told to the general public by any other person. Basically the deep down dirty secrets of these particular groups. So she confided in me that a year and a half ago she had joined Antifa. All right. It completely devastated me, like I said. And she's not so much anti-Trump. in fact, her parents are Trump supporters. It's just this new age, and that's for a different story. But she just really believes in helping people, wanting people to live the best lives. You know the whole thing. Immigrants come here to succeed and live, and I get it. Legal immigrants do that. Illegal invaders do not. But she told me that she left Antifa. And now that she had left, she has been receiving death threats. She's had personal property fucked with. This is all in a very short amount of time, too. And her roommate had called, actually, while we were there. I mean, not when I was with Kylie personally, but why it's, for Christmas at their home. And said somebody had broken into their apartment. This is an upper scale apartment. It doesn't have security, but it's 2 miles from campus in the particular city that they're in. Very nice area. But they had broken in while her roommate was also gone and only destroyed Kylie's stuff in her bedroom and things like that. So it was targeted and specific. Now this is where it gets into the meat and bones, or meat and potatoes, I should say, or to the bones of it, however you want to put it. She explained to me exactly what happens when you join Antifa and how these people are recruited. Now, the main players, which blew me away, the main players in supporting Antifa are Starbucks, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and there's a couple other minor ones, but they're still a player. And what they do is they seek out these young college aged individuals within these Starbucks and stuff, and they have recruiters. And she said they're everywhere. They're the baristas, they're the managers, they're the people that sack your foods at Trader Joe's. They're everywhere. They're implanted everywhere. And they are there to recruit. And they'll literally have people like in the Starbucks and stuff sitting and over listening, or trying to listen into people's conversation. And they also try to seek out people that are fairly intelligent and are trying to get their education, like in law, which that's what Kylie wants to be. She wants to be a prosecutor for a specific reason. And they basically start the conversation like you would, hey, I overheard I overheard you talking about politics, this and that. Well, you can do better. You can help, join. Well, that's how it all starts. And they make it sound really good, basically like, the military. They make everything sound like it's going to be great. You're helping people. And it's obviously the most devious domestic terrorist group on the planet, I in my eyes. So this is how it works, people, and this is never heard before. So please listen carefully. They pay these once they get the recruiting process is over, and there is little classes that they go to in people's homes, and there's designated businesses that will help protect these Antifa terrorists. And this is all preloaded into their brains. It's sad. They can even get, depending on how deep you are in Antifa, you get fake IDs made with other people's names, social security numbers. Your face is put on it. It's done by professionals. These are professionals. These ain't a bunch of just potheads in an apartment somewhere trying to be protesters and cause trouble. These are professional protesters, rioters. And what they'll do is, once that you're basically inaugurated into Antifa, you get paid They'll pay you for when you're actually protesting. Now, I want to point out one thing. She did protest. She admitted that, but she would stayed away from the violence, and that's one of the reasons that she left. She said it's just violence, 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 and she didn't want any part of that. She wanted to protest and get her voice heard as far as people's rights, which that's fine with me. But what they do, these individual businesses like Starbucks, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and there's a couple others, they will give you a card, like a card from Starbucks, a gift card, whatever you want to call it. And those are preloadable, and they put a mark on it. There's a certain mark that they put on the corner of these cards, and it'll identify you as an Antifa member. So when you are rioting, you can go in to these places and get free food, free coffee, shelter, whatever you want. That is fucking unbelievable, people. Right here in the United States of America, these businesses that are so popular and people just run to spend their $7 fucking cup of milk and coffee, basically, are supporting Antifa. And she goes, there's also a political side of it, which we all knew. They support, big time, people like Bernie Sanders, clear back to Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, Obama, this fucking prick up here, Tim Walz. They support people like that. Money goes to them through these businesses. And that's why you see a lot of them, they stop at the Starbucks and stuff, because they support them. Millions of dollars go to these pricks. So anyway, these cards are preloaded with $100. This proves that you're out doing your job working for Antifa. $100 is loaded onto this card. It's $100 a day that they're paid. And that way there's no cash handed over, there's no Vimo, there's no check, there's nothing like that. It's almost untraceable. You're just going in with a card that says Starbucks, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. She said a lot of the microbreweries, believe it or not, support these Antifa. There's shelters for them. And there's people that they give you phone numbers to, residents within these cities that are Antifa supporters, and you can go into their homes. They will take you into your homes for safety if you're running from law enforcement or something. Now, here's one that's going to knock it. It didn't surprise me, but it does. One of the other places that support the shelter of Antifa, the fucking Catholic Church. The Catholic churches, people. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? So all they have to do is show this card. They get $100 loaded on, and it's just basically a cover. It's just like, well, hey, I'm, getting this card, and I'm going to buy myself a cup of coffee, something like that. So that's how that is. That's how they're paid. They're also trained. They're given, depending on what you're going to do, how high you are up within Antifa. You get body armor. They all get backpacks that are already preloaded with medical. They give you knives. She said there's spray in them, masks, everything. This is a training. This is a absolutely 100% terrorist organization within the United States that trains how to fight against our law enforcement, and it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. So after she told me all this, I absorbed it the best I could, and I told her she doesn't need to be afraid. She's not going to quit her dream career. She's not going to stop college because of these fuckers. So there's a little distance between where her parents live in college, but she's moving back home. And I'm personally going to implement some security for her. But these people are nasty. I don't think this information has ever been released before, people. So spread it like wildfire. But this proves 100%. These are paid domestic terrorists, and they're being paid by the fuckers you go get your coffee from. You go get your fucking Brussels sprouts and tofu from. And your Trader Joe chips and the fucking rotten hummus that they sell. Okay? You think about that. You think about that the next time you go to any of these businesses. And if you have any morals, any conscience whatsoever, if you're a true American, you would never, ever walk through the doors of these businesses ever again. But they are recruiting intelligent, even though most of the people that you see out there that are running around like fucking baboons that are rabid, they're trying to get intelligent people within their groups, and they're recruiting these young minds through these businesses. You have to watch out, people. And one of the other things that she said, that the higher ups do, the very, very violent ones, they'll have, and it's true, they'll have designated spots where their devices set, where they can grab and use against law enforcement. Such as, like she said, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of dumpsters that are pre-designated. Now listen to this, that have bottles or mason jars, and they're marked on top. And she said they'd wanted to have bleach in them, and the other one had ammonia, and you'd throw them. Like I said, thank God she was never that stupid. But they'd throw them at law enforcement. Or just general public. They'd get so mad that they'd just throw them into the general public, into the crowd. And you know what bleach and ammonia does when it's mixed. Or they'd have bottles of... people would actually urinate in bottles, and they'd collect it and save it and dump it off of buildings onto people. These motherfuckers. And yes, there is pre-designated areas where they have piles of rocks and bricks set on pallets. Unfucking believable. This is what you're supporting when you buy that $7 cup of coffee, or from any of these other businesses. But she said Starbucks is the prime, I guess, whatever you want to call it, the headquarters for Antifa. Remember that, people. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this, because it's very important to me. But we're going to keep her safe, and we're going to fight against these son of a bitches. And if this is the last video I ever make because of, whatever happens, me having to protect her, that's fine with me. But I will go to my grave, literally. And I hope some of these motherfuckers are listening to this video, which they probably are. Come get some. I'm almost 60 years old. I've lived a very good life. I have nothing to lose, but you do. And you know what you'll lose. Thank you, people. Thank you for your time, and please share this. This could be somebody in your family. God bless. Godspeed. And we'll chat again.